All right, exponents today. Exponents are a number that is written above a variable. So for example, if our variable is x, we can write a number to the top right of it, such as a 2, a 3, a 4, literally any number, and that refers to a multiple of whatever variable it is. So you've seen squared before. You've done area problems where the unit is centimeters squared or inches squared. And in volume, you've seen cubed before. You've seen inches cubed or cubic inches, things like that. So you've seen exponents before, but maybe you didn't know what they stand for. The squared sign, or the little 2 that you're seeing, tells you how many x's you need to multiply in the problem. So x squared actually refers to x times x. Literally, two x's being multiplied together is what x squared means. And notice there is a big difference between x squared and then the other type that you've seen, which is something maybe like 2x. We've seen that before in our single step equations unit, where you have a coefficient above the variable. But 2x means 2 times x. And you say, aren't those the same thing? 2x's and x times x? Well, not quite. Pretend that you plugged in the number 3. Let's just say that x equals 3 in this case. I picked a random number. It doesn't have to be 3, but let's just say x is 3. Then when you plug 3 into the equation, 3 squared will equal 3 times 3. That's just plugging in 3 for where all the x's are. And then for the other part, it's going to be 2 times 3, which will equal 2 times 3. And the answers to both of those equations are different. 3 times 3 is 9, while 2 times 3 is 6. So there is a difference between having a exponent as opposed to just a coefficient in terms of what answer you're going to get. Here's another example, and we're just learning about the pure basics of exponents right now. So suppose I gave you, what is y to the 5th power? The 5th power means that we're going to have 5 y's. So the y to the 5th actually equals y times y times y times y times y, or literally 5 y's being multiplied by y's, uh, as opposed to 5y, which means 5 times 1y. Big difference there. And I really want to hit that difference right from the jump so that we can be on the same page. Now, you are going to be asked a few questions about this and try to map out your own partial understanding of exponents. So don't worry, you don't always have to have a variable in there too. So sometimes I can write a number like 5 and put a 2 in front of it, which means 5 squared. And that would mean 5 times 5. So kind of get the hang of it. The 2 means you're going to take 2 of that exact number and multiply them together. It just depends. For example, 8 to the 3rd means that we're going to have 3 8s multiplied by each other. 8 times 8 times 8. There is, again, I want to emphasize the difference between those two things and then putting something like 4 times 3. So that's not, and that's different because that's obviously just 4 times 3, which is 12. But that's a lot different than saying 3 to the 4th, which is 3 times 3 times 3 times 3. Hopefully you kind of getting the feel for exponents. This is all we're doing right now. We're just kind of writing it out long ways. We don't need to solve it yet, but I want you kind of see that there is a difference between the coefficient model and the exponent model, and you get to see how we write out exponents. So go ahead and try a few of those on your own when you get to the Google form after the next topic. The next video, we're going to cover two-step equations. So you're going to also get to learn a little bit about those.